Good morning, everyone. As I've mentioned in previous videos, I am in the process of setting up an Etsy shop to sell some of my handmade items because I love to crochet and I would fill this house with crochet stuff. I literally could. So the Etsy shop, I have planned to get everything uploaded on September 1st, which is Labor Day. So my goal is Labor Day, and I am still working on making market bags. So most of what I'm going to post the first time is going to be market bags. And my goal is actually to finally get to try different patterns. I want to try a new pattern every month, and if I like it, make a bunch of the item and post it on Etsy. And right now, the new pattern that I really love is the market bag pattern. But I have other items that I will also post, and I did try a new pattern. The market bag pattern I actually tried in July, and so for August, I tried a bucket hat pattern, which is super cute. But back to the point. I wasn't sure how difficult it was to start an Etsy shop, and I didn't know if I needed to own a computer because I actually don't own a computer. I have a work computer that is issued to me by my employer that I work on to do my job. But I don't have a personal computer. I have an iPad. And so I wasn't even sure for a while if I could do an Etsy shop from an iPad. And then I started asking that. I went online and I checked to see if people were talking about it on Reddit, of course. And I asked a friend who has an Etsy shop, and she also doesn't have a computer. She runs her Etsy shop with an iPad. So I was like, great, that is awesome. I can just open an Etsy shop at any point. Still, wasn't sure how long it would take. So, believe it or not, I already have my Etsy shop set up. I just haven't posted anything other than I did put some dishcloths on there just to make sure that I know how to post things to Etsy on the day that I plan to post things to Etsy. So the process itself was not as difficult as I thought. I thought, well, this could take a while. And even when I went in to set up the seller's account, it said that the process of linking your bank account can take 3 to 5 days. For me, it took 1. So if you're like me, you already have an Etsy buyer's account. In order to set up the seller's account, you just have to go to the website. You can't do it from your Etsy app on your phone or your iPad. You first have to go to the actual website using the browser on your phone or iPad, depending on what you are actually going to be using for your Etsy shop. So I got my seller's account set up, and I had to upload a copy of a photo of my ID. You can't open an Etsy seller's account without verifying identification. So I had to take a photo of my state ID and get that, both sides, and get that uploaded. That was one of the steps. And then I had to link my bank account, which you can just use your regular bank account, your checking account that you purchase, that you pay all your bills out of, if you want to, if you're staying small. I do recommend, if you're going to sell quite a bit, that you probably should have a separate account. And even I went ahead and made a separate got a separate checking account just for my Etsy stuff, just so that I can keep track better, and also make sure, I want to track it and make sure that I'm not losing money by having an Etsy shop. So I want to track my expenses and track money coming in. basically. So I have a separate account set up. Once you have linked your bank account, they say that this part takes 3 to 5 days, but Etsy deposits 1 penny into your bank account. And after that 1 penny is deposited into your bank account, you go into your app and you look at it, and the deposit will have a 3-letter code. So you'll look for a number sign and then 3 letters, and then you go back into the website and you enter that in, and then that part is complete. And then there is the annual fee, because there is an annual fee to sell on Etsy. It is $29 right now. So after all of that is done, then your credit card is charged the $29 fee for setting up your Etsy. Now, Etsy does cost 20 cents to list an item. So it's 20 cents per listing. So if you're making multiple items, and they're the same item but just like different colors, it would make sense to do one listing and then list the different colors and the quantities in those colors, which I'll probably be doing some of, depending. And then Etsy will take roughly about 10% of your earnings. So some might say, oh, that's too much. Don't sell on Etsy. But for someone who's doing it small, like I'm doing, I'm not going to pay money to have a website set up. I'm not going to get the program, the computer and the software that is needed for buying and selling. So for me, it makes sense just to go to an already set up site like Etsy and set up an Etsy account, a seller's account. So that is the way that I have chosen to do it. And I did that for a reason. It'll just be easier for me. I already work a full-time job. So my crochet hobby is in my spare time when I'm not working. It's when I'm at home, when I'm not feeding my family, doing housework. It's what I do in between. It's what I do to relax. So it's just small. It's not a big deal. So for me, it's just easier than to deal with all of the extras, I guess you would say. So that is why I chose Etsy. Etsy is just going to make my life a little bit easier, and it will be a way for me to sell some of the things that I make while I'm relaxing in the evening before bed. Now, I'm going to post, so coming up next weekend, because next weekend is actually Labor Day weekend. So next weekend, I'm going to upload a video, and I'm going to share all of the items that are going to be a part of my first Etsy drop. I have a tote box that as I'm creating items, I am taking the finished items and putting them into a tote, and then I'll get them all photographed and uploaded to Etsy. I'll post my Etsy upload video, and then I will post my Etsy link to Facebook, and of course it'll be on the YouTube video. Today I started another market bag, and it is white and beach glass, because I think that the beach glass color goes really, really good with either the white or the cream. So the beach glass handles, and then the white or cream mesh for the bag. So I definitely wanted to, I still had some beach glass yarn, so I definitely wanted to get a beach glass bag started to be a part of my upload. Now I am mostly focusing on the larger market bags, but there will be a couple of smaller ones, and then maybe next month I'll make more of the smaller bags for the following Etsy drop, and then I'll make less of the larger. It just depends. And some things I will probably create more of. If I say I sell out of something and it ends up being a popular item, then naturally that will be something that I'll just have on the list of things that I'm just going to automatically make sure that I make some of every month to upload onto my Etsy shop. But that is what I am looking forward to right now. I am having fun getting ready for this Etsy shop. I'm loving it. I'm going to have a blast, and I hope that you guys tune in and watch my Etsy drop video, because that one will be really fun too. So thank you for watching, and I hope that you have a fabulous Sunday.